Hello everybody. Today we're going to go over a sensitive topic, and I'm going to make a point out of the slide that we're all looking at here, and you might even be offended by what I've written, but this is the case, and I'll show you throughout the length of this video why this is the case, why your country doesn't matter. That's what we're going over. And it is Daniel 2, verses 1 through 49, and then Genesis 11, verses 1 through 9. That's what we're going to be going over. But first, we're going to read out of Acts 17:11. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the Scriptures daily whether those things were so. I'm trying to tell you that you should be searching the Scriptures, your heart, and looking with the Holy Spirit to determine whether or not the things I say are true. Because in the end, I could be completely wrong about everything I say. And I don't want to give you any wrong information. So first, we're going to be going over the dream of Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, but he couldn't remember it to tell to his interpreters, so he asked them to tell him his dream and then interpret it. And the interpreters couldn't tell him the dream, but Daniel was able to, and this is what he said. The statue in the dream. So, in Daniel 2, it writes about the times of the Gentiles. And this is what it goes over. We got a little chart here that describes what it goes over. So beginning in 606 BC, Babylonian Empire starts. That's the head of gold. 538 BC, Medo-Persian Empire. 333 BC, Grecian Empire. That's the Greek Empire. 63 BC, Rome. And then after that, the feet, which are considered by many Rome 2, or a lot of people call them Mystery Babylon. This chart shows it as an approximation to where we are today, because we don't know exactly what it is. There's speculation, and we're going to kind of go over the speculation of what it is, but we don't necessarily know for sure. And that rock, which is going to crash into this entire statue, is Christ when he makes his return to earth. So Babylon is the head of gold, Medo-Persia the chest and arms of silver, Greece is the belly and thighs of bronze, Rome is the legs of iron, Rome 2, the feet of iron and clay, and then the rock is Christ himself. So Rome 2, the feet of iron and clay. You might have heard that this is the UN, the EU, and in some cases people claim it's a few Middle Eastern nations during Revelation. What do we know about these feet? Toes make up 10 nations. They are partly strong and partly broken. Note the iron and clay that represent this. Can we find types of this in our Bible? We can. One example of a type for these kingdoms takes place in Genesis 14, 1 through 17, where they describe a war between kings that Abraham tries to avoid getting involved in until his nephew Lot is taken. The reason this is a type is because it's a confederacy of kingdoms, just like back in Daniel, where we were talking about the feet, the 10 countries, the 10 toes. That's a confederacy, many people believe. So why does any of this matter to you or your country? We'll look at the Tower of Babel, and we'll figure it out. I think that if we look at that story, we can really find out how this applies to us. So I'm going to just read the whole story. It's not very long. Okay. Genesis 11, 1 through 9. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to one another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city, and a tower, whose top may reach into the heavens, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city, and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will restrain them from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their speech, that they may not understand one another's speech. I want to take a quick breath here to mention, he says, let us go down, and he says us. And you might wonder at home why he says us if he's really just talking to himself. A lot of people think that's a type for the Trinity, and he does that multiple times throughout Genesis. I thought I'd bring it up. Alright, Genesis 8, or Genesis 11:8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. These places are temporary. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Through the head, the chest and torso, through all the nations, everything is just temporary. God gave all the nations an expiration date. These places pale in comparison to the nation we as Christians belong to, which is the kingdom of heaven. And that's why you should always be praying, Thy kingdom come, when you pray. We really have to take this kingdom seriously, because it's the final permanent one. It's what the rest of these nations try to be, but they fail to be. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a good rest of your day.